I don't really normally make videos like this. I really don't make videos like this at all, honestly. But after what's happened recently, for some reason, I felt kind of inspired to. So unless you've been living under a rock lately, um, obviously, Nintendo finally announced the final Super Smash Bros. Fighters Pass character, and it, it didn't go. It didn't go over well. It didn't. It did not go over well. Of course, we ended up getting Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and the choice has angered quite a few people. It kind of caused a bit of a shitstorm. I personally moderate for a Discord channel that revolves around Super Smash Brothers leaks, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. Twitter was pretty crazy. It didn't exactly go over well. Um, I need to establish right away, right off the bat, that there is going to be a tiny bit of bias in this video. Sometimes you just can't help it because I do have a certain opinion about all this. And personally, me, I I do think that it was a really, really poor choice for number five. I think it was kind of a terrible choice, one of the worst possible. I'm not too angry about it. In fact, actually, I did a reaction video and I actually started laughing at the entire thing. The character was revealed, and it was like one of those moments where, like, you know, you're so stunned by something, you can't believe that it's happening to such a degree that you actually just start laughing at it. That was actually me. I just couldn't believe that it happened, that we got another Fire Emblem character. It was, I think Nintendo fucked up royally, personally. A lot of people are happy with it. That's totally cool. That's totally valid. Um, I think it's a bad choice. The purpose of this video is not necessarily to talk about my opinion, however. It's just to quickly kind of go over why I think that's happening. And for many, that might seem obvious, but I think there's a little bit of a mysticism to it that's kind of causing people to be a little bit more angry than they should. Um, and I want to try to give like a little bit of, I want to try to explain our side, basically. First off, people who are happy about it, they like Fire Emblem, I'm sure. They thought Three Houses was a great game. It is. It's a fantastic game. Um, and they got a cool character. Totally understandable. Here is why I think people who are so upset by it, people somewhat like me, feel that way. And it's not because they don't like Fire Emblem. I mean, there are, I'm sure, a few of those. If they don't like the character choice, cause if the reason they don't like the character choice is because they don't like Fire Emblem, I mean, obviously at that point you can just chalk it up to that. There's not much else to it. You don't got too much of an argument. You don't like the character. Okay. I personally really like Fire Emblem. I think it's a great series, but I think it's a horrible choice. And I think for most it doesn't come down to something as simple as that. It's not because they hate your character. It's not because they hate your series. It's not even, I don't think, necessarily all due to the fact that they're sick of sword users or anything like that. This is personally what I think. The Super Smash Brothers series, Ultimate especially, has kind of, for a long time, been about more than just being an awesome Nintendo fighting game. It is a celebration of gaming as a whole. It is the ultimate crossover. It's in the name. It's been, I mean, do I even need to explain it? It's been a part of the marketing material. Sakurai himself has said it so many times. It's literally the biggest video game crossover of all time, continues to grow in that aspect. It's personally the reason I'm so attached to the series. A lot of people love playing it. I do like playing it. A lot of people are more into the mechanics. They're, into getting their favorite characters. For me, I personally, and I think this is on some level for everyone, I'm not even that obsessed with getting like my favorite characters. I just love it just as this idea of this big gaming party, this celebration of gaming and all of gaming's icons and all of gaming's giants. And clearly that's the push they're going for with this game. And it's why it's so ultimate. It's why people love it. Now, the DLC, the Fighter's Pass, was obviously continuing this trend masterfully with some surprising picks, some fan service picks, but at the end of the day, it was about furthering this idea of this ultimate gaming crossover. Now we've got Persona in here. Now we've got Dragon Quest in here. Now we've got King of Fighters in here. We've got friggin' Banjo-Kazooie. It's just this amazing thing. And then it's like we hit a speed bump. You're riding high with it. Really, really just pushing this whole ultimate crossover vibe with these amazing picks, bringing these new worlds, which they even said was what it was all about, the DLC, bringing in these new worlds to Super Smash Brothers and creating this ultimate crossover. And then after we wait so long, the fifth fighter is not that. I mean, on a very small level, it's that, but it is from a first-party franchise, which we do have plenty of. It's from a franchise that's already represented. It's a character who kind of seems to play a little bit similar to ones we already have. That you can argue. Totally fair. But I think that's the reason why so many people are upset. It feels so much less inspired. It's clearly on some levels an advertisement pick, and I personally hate those because that's why they're there, and that's just kind of, I don't want to say sleazy, but it's got less heart to it, It feels more hollow. But that, I think, is the really big issue with the choice, is that it was just, we're riding high with these awesome picks, bringing in these new worlds, and then slam, you get another Fire Emblem character. And it's like, where was this whole, I thought we were all about bringing in new worlds. I mean, yeah, Three Houses is different than other Fire Emblem games, but now there is a defense to this, which I get. They can't all be third party. That's fine. I don't know how necessarily difficult. I mean, on some level, I'm sure we all understand how difficult it must be to negotiate for third parties and everything. So totally get that they might have to throw in a first party. But if you're going to do that, if you have to do that, you probably shouldn't go with the one that had already had 8 characters. And one that you already knew a lot of complaints were revolving around. I mean, I think it would have been just as bad if they had done another Pokemon character. Maybe not Mario, since he is the mascot of Nintendo. So if it had been another Mario character, it would have been somewhat understandable. But that's about it. I literally think that another Fire Emblem character, a series that already had 7 characters, was it 8 or something? Really the worst possible choice you could have gone with. After it's such a swerve from the rest of the Fighter's Pass, but not in a good way. Not in an unexpected way like Joker. More of just well, there's that kind of hopefully that makes sense. It in no way furthers really this whole ultimate gaming party thing. You can Byleth's inclusion. That's awesome. But I just wanted to give kind of that, personally me, that's why I hate the inclusion. That's why I hate the choice. It's it could have been another third party. If it had been first party, it could have been at least a new Nintendo first party friend, maybe Golden Sun or something like that. But no, it's clearly an advertisement pick, at least on some level. To be fair, Three Houses is a good game, like I said. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. And that's kind of what I think is the huge problem with it. It's kind of annoying. But, you live on. It's fine. We got 6 more characters. It's awesome. There's just calm down, everyone. Take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get more third parties. Which does bring me to the one other thing I did want to talk about regarding all this discourse that we're getting. Regarding all of this, the back and forth, basically. The people who are defending this decision, the people who hate it, lots of the rage, lots of the toxicity. I want to kind of address both sides a little bit and hopefully kind of, I don't know, sort of put out, I guess, a statement to both sides. For those who do hate this decision, as I said, I get it, but life goes on. It's fine. It's just a video game at the end of the day. Passion is great. Passionate opinions are fantastic. It's wonderful that we can love a game so much that something like this means that much to us. I don't think it gets stated enough. It's fine. If you're upset, it's totally valid. Just obviously don't take this to things like personal insults. Don't imply that anyone who likes this idea is who likes this character is stupid or anything like that. And I don't think I've seen too much of that. In all honesty, I think what I've seen a little bit more of is actually toxicity from the opposite side, the people who are okay with this. Now, Fire Emblem fans, we can be happy for you, but there has been a level of kind of just, I guess you could say, just really bitter kind of rudeness coming from that side. I've seen comments like, just let Fire Emblem fans be happy. And it's like, well, I mean, it's it's kind of implying just let us have this. Let us have this moment. And it's like, well, it's understandable that people are a little angry. You already got a ton of other characters. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but hopefully you get what I mean. It's kind of like, it's understandable that if anything, if there were more other first party choices, that people wanted series that didn't already have, 7 characters. So, I mean, yeah, of course you can let Fire Emblem, we can, let you be happy, but just as much, just as important, and I feel like this doesn't get said enough, let people be disappointed. I hope that's a mantra that starts spreading around now, right? It's always just let people enjoy things. It's well, let people be disappointed. As long as they're not taking it to a toxic degree, as long as they're not throwing insults or threatening developers. I mean, fuck that shit. You're crazy if you're doing that. As long as they're not doing any of that, let people say, why they don't like something. Let them express it. It's okay. Personally, if I had gotten another Zelda character, which I really wanted, I would still I'd be happy, but I would still completely understand if people were disappointed. If they were like, oh, I expect another DLC character, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I totally get that. I'm happy about this, but I totally get why you're upset. I've not seen a lot of that. And I just want people to kind of get why people are so fuming at this. And unfortunately, a lot of it is kind of coming in this form of shutting down all criticism. Nobody can insult, well, not insult, because no insulting, but nobody can not be okay with it, or nobody can say why they're not okay with it. And it's sometimes people have genuine, very valid reasons for not liking a character choice. That's okay. People have opinions. People like Smash Brothers. They're passionate about this stuff. That is okay. Stop with this stupid, hose mad crap where it's you're spouting just this, childish statement to automatically shut down all criticism. It's kind of the equivalent of, being a kid when you plug your ears and you go, blah, 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 when someone's trying to, say something you don't like. It's just stop. Let people be upset about something. Don't just be childish about it and just you won't listen to any criticism. You're just mad. Oh, whatever. It's I mean, there's some critique is good. Critique is good. Critique of media is an important thing. You may not always agree with it, and that's totally fine, but it's important. It is very important for moving forward and making things better and better, and people are allowed to have opinions. It's a beautiful thing. As long as they're not hurting anyone in the process with it, people are, in regards to media, books, all that, they're allowed to like something or not. Just try and remember that. And remember, 6 more fighters. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Just hold on to that. Just keep saying it. 6 more fighters. Thank you for watching.